So, research, there's often a debate over whether inductive or deductive methods are better. You usually have people that are very much on the side of, I like a theory, let me just find a theory and test it. And you have people that are just like, I'd like to explore and gather new information. The important thing to remember is that in research, though, these things go together, which means that you can't test a theory, obviously, without somebody having observed something that they thought was interesting and trying to get enough information to develop a theory in the first place. But then as you test theories and you come up with new things that might kind of shake the way you see the world, you might have to start developing new theories. It all goes together, so just keep that in mind, that you can't have one without the other. Okay, so when we're talking about theory, what are we talking about? We're talking about basically several different statements about the world, about social phenomena, so about things that have to do with society and relationships and things that we experience. And it's basically a certain set of statements about how certain concepts work together. That's basically the easiest way to remember them. And it's a theory is, again, it's a big idea about a group of ideas, but what makes it different than just any regular idea is that those ideas are connected in a certain way that you can try to test. And so a theory is, by definition, this group of concepts where you can try to test how they fit together. And so theory is obviously very important to research because theories order the world, so they help us understand what we're going to observe. If we observe evidence that supports a theory, then that theory becomes stronger and stronger, and then we know that theories then start to kind of take hold. A lot of the theories that we hold on to today, like global warming, theories of evolution, are a result of certain concepts being structured in a way that were repeatedly tested. So then what does theory have to do with social work? Isn't social work about helping people? Why do you have to care about theory? Even though we're helping people, though, we're always thinking from a research mind frame. We see and observe the things that clients are doing. We see and observe the way programs work, and we have to make sense of it. We have to make sense why a program works for a client, why it doesn't. We don't want to be the social worker that does something just to do it without actually helping our client, or worse, in a way that actually could hurt our client. And we want to make a difference. If we see that there's something we could be doing better, we want to do that. So theories help us kind of develop the way that we've even practiced social work. So there's a couple of examples here of theories that you had a lot of theory in your other courses, and so this is just kind of to bring you to the idea of the assumptions that a theory has, for example, and then the different concepts. And so the idea of a theory is that there's certain relationships between these, and you're supposed to be able to test them and gather evidence about that they connect together. So you've got a couple of examples there. So constructs. So what do you mean by construct? At first I'm using the word concept, now I'm using the word construct. Basically a construct just means that you're taking a concept and you're making it a little bit more clearly defined. So concepts may be more abstract. Concepts may be things like anxiety, quality, oppression. But a construct, it means that we're recognizing it's not just something you observe. It's a social category. It's something complicated, in other words, and we have to break it down even more. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. So then we move into the idea of a hypothesis. So we've talked about research questions, we've talked about theory and concepts. So now what does a hypothesis fit in with? Well, a hypothesis basically evolves from your research question. So a research question maybe is something in a new area. Your hypothesis is then kind of bringing that research question into something very specific. A hypothesis is basically what you test. This is kind of, what do I want to learn from my research? And so I'm going to develop a hypothesis that I can gather evidence around and basically say, yes, I proved it, or no, I don't have enough information to prove it, or maybe you proved that it's not correct. So research question, we've looked at this, what it looks like. A hypothesis is very narrow, as you can see. Does a program A lead to an increase in B in a sample population C? So you're looking at a very specific first part. You're looking at a direction of change, and you're looking at the specific population. So in a hypothesis, you're looking at what's that A. Does praise by the teacher increase student confidence at school? So you've got three different elements, and you see the group that you're focusing on is students. So just keep in mind then the different components of a hypothesis here.